Welcome to Jacksonville, Florida, for the annual Halloween Week showdown between bitter border rivals, Georgia and Florida.
The Bulldogs and the Gators welcome you to Jacksonville. Sony breaks free, he does score, touchdown! Dogs are on parade, ready for
It's the Gators versus the Bulldogs on CBS.
Sure, I dread of them.
We welcome all of you to the Home Depot SEC on CBS. Today from Jacksonville, the Florida Gators against the Georgia Bulldogs. Yes, we are near Halloween, but somehow it doesn't seem to matter for these fans. They seem dressed in the same outfits every time we do a Georgia game. Same as that, for that matter, as the Florida fans. Hi once again, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with Gary Danielson. We welcome you to Georgia, Florida once again. It's a beautiful day, and this is a very significant game. Let's take a look at the standings. Florida 3-1 and very much in control. If they win out, they will be in Atlanta as the SEC East champions. Now, what do we know? What do we not know? And of course, Gary, when did we know it?
Exactly. It's a good question. I have no idea, but more importantly, I don't know if either one of these coaching staffs for either team knows exactly what they have. Let's start with Florida, though. On their offense, they have some things that go well, but they've been leaning on their defense. And we know that they've had great defense for a number of years. This year, their stars are at corner. Jalen Tabor and Quincy Wilson might be the best duo in college football. They've been producing the points. 2 touchdowns against Missouri a week ago. But I just got the feeling, as much as they had success running the ball in this game the last couple of years, Luke Del Rio has to get more healthy, number one, and be a bigger part of this football game, because I just don't think Kirby Smart is going to allow that running game to keep going.
Well, I'm not so sure we know what kind of team Georgia has. They've kind of limped in here with a 4-3 mark.
They do. 1 week it's a running game, then it's a passing game. They don't exactly know what they have on offense, but I do know they have one of the young, bright quarterbacks in this league. Jacob Eason is getting better piece by piece, but it's tough to get good at quarterback in this league as a true freshman. But he's got help this year. Nick Chubb did not play, obviously, a year ago in this football game. I think Georgia starts with Nick Chubb. If he is able to establish a little bit of help, the Georgia offense will show up.
Well, this is the 88th time the game has been played in the neutral city of Jacksonville. There are a number of stars who've been attached to this encounter over the years. Adam, thank you. That's a fascinating encounter.
They're staying alive, Louisville.
Well, it's Florida and Georgia. Everbank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. Both of these teams consist of several players from the greater Jacksonville area. For more, here's Allie.
Hey, Vern, two of those players for Florida are Luke Del Rio and Tyler Jordan, who grew up watching every Georgia-Florida game, but ironically enough, never made it into this stadium to see one in person. Luke Del Rio has seen more games here than he can remember when his father was a coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Tyler Jordan grew up across the river, but his family always said the traffic was so bad they never made it in. So Coach Mack took a show of hands when the team got to Jacksonville. He said, how many of you have never been on this field before? He said close to 70% of the team raised their hand, so he made sure they did a walkthrough when they got here yesterday. On the Georgia side of things, there's one person very close to this rivalry. It's head coach Kirby Smart. He's been a part of it 6 different times as a player and an assistant coach, only won once, and he said it best today, the strangest of things happen in this game. There's no way to prepare, you just have to be ready for it all. Vern?
All right, Allie, and appropriately, it takes place on or near Halloween every year. The weather is really terrific today. 81 degrees, 65% humidity, and wind out of the northeast. Not all that bad. 95th all-time meeting. Georgia leads the series. Florida does not include a 1904 game played in Macon. I guess they'll never agree that that game was played. But Florida a decided favorite in this one.
Yes, because of the one unit of the 4 units that stands out is probably the Florida defense. However, I'll go back. What's the best win between the two schools? Is it the North Carolina win by Georgia? Both of these teams have not faced elite talent.
Georgia won the toss and deferred. So Chris Thompson grabs it and takes a knee off the Rodrigo Blankenship kickoff. And here's the introduction to the Chick-fil-A starting lineups. And Luke Del Rio, 4-0 as a starting quarterback, missed a couple with a bad knee.
If you talk to the Florida coaches, they felt that he was rusty in that last game. Did not like his footwork. He's got a lot of experience being in college football, but not that many games on the field as the quarterback.
Jordan Scarlett is the running back.
And Georgia opens with a 4-2-5. Maurice Smith is on the field.
Handoff Jordan Scarlett over left guard, a couple. And let's continue with the Florida offense. Sharp, Ivy, Dillard, Jordan, Taylor. Jordan Scarlett will play a lot in the backfield today, along with LaMichael Piron. They are going to be the featured backs. And Mark Thompson has been suspended from the team for a violation of team rules, will not play at least this week. 2nd down, 7. Whistle before the snap.
I think it's motion by Florida.
False start. Offense, number 89. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Well, in keeping with the Florida tradition for SEC football, they get a lot of penalties.
Yes.
But they've won championships getting penalties, and they've struggled getting penalties, so it's no indicator.
Call was on Tyree Cleveland, wide receiver. And Piron is in wearing number 22. 2nd down, handoff left side, and Piron still on.
Face mask.
Oh, yeah. Dominic Sanders, number 24.
Yeah, Dominic Sanders may have a little bit more motivation in this game.
Personal
Remember
foul.
a year ago.
Face mask. Defense, number 24. 15 yards added to the end of the run. Automatic 1st down.
A year ago, he did not play the first half of this game because he had a targeting penalty from the game previous. So he's ready to play. He just needs to play more fairly.
Yes. Discipline.
Well, you know, under pressure, it's fundamentals under pressure. That's what usually goes first.
Play action. Del Rio rolling out, looking deep, firing deep, and it's intercepted easily. Dominic Sanders. He's got a convoy as he comes left.
Uh-oh, might be 15 there,
Yeah,
too.
you bet. Cameron Dillard, number 54 for Florida, took a dive at him.
Well, I know exactly what Luke Del Rio saw. The safety, Sanders, goes deep, covering the post, but then he baits and peels back. Luke Del Rio comes out, he finds the safety, he thinks he's back, so he takes the crossing route, boom. Dominic Sanders goes deep, and then he closes on the crossing route. What a great job by Sanders atoning for the play before.
30-yard return. There was no flag thrown on what we perceived to be a relatively late hit.
Yeah, remember, once the player gives himself
Boom.
up, in real time it didn't look quite as bad. I guess I watched it in real time both times, didn't I? So when I was watching it live,
That's a good point by you.
Didn't feel it. I said, oh, it's a penalty, then watching it there, no big deal.
That's because you weren't the guy getting hit. Roll out, Eason. Isaac Nauta, the outstanding freshman tight end. And let's introduce you. A little late with the burp. Jacob Eason.
Well, I actually think that's the type of game plan we're going to see from Jim Chaney and Georgia. The corners are so good that I think Georgia's going to attempt to play 9-on-9 football. Let the two receivers go long and try to pick at this defense with the fullbacks and the tight ends.
Jared Davis, questionable game time decision, and he has decided to give it a go, so he's in at middle linebacker. Here's Chubb. Nothing. Daniel McMillan, number 13, first there. Offensively, the remainder of the Georgia lineup. Catalina's an interesting story. He's a Rhode Island transfer. And Isaiah McKenzie, a star on this team, has had a slow series of games the last 3 or 4 weeks, but still very potent as a wide receiver, and he will run the reverse.
A year ago, Vern, Georgia struggled on third down. They were only 2 for 12 in the game. Here's their first big one in this game.
They're down 5 at the 20. Eason, nice.
Yep, and that's what they'll do.
Inside the 10, Charlie Werner, whose father, Scott Werner, will be inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in December.
Great view of how the quarterback and the advantage. Our camera is obviously a little higher, but Jacob Eason's 6'5". He was looking right over the pass rush, had a great view. And again, the pass offense for Chaney is let the corners cover our receivers. They're not at the strength of our team. Let's pick at them with fullbacks and tight ends.
First down goal. Number 12. Up the middle. Nice move. That's Nick Chubb with a couple of moves out of his way while he was heading straight forward.
Gain of 7 yards. Second and
Now
goal.
let's take a look now at the Verizon red zone defense by Florida. That is the best in the SEC, 43%. Defense is their calling card. Christian Payne joins Nick Chubb. He's the fullback in front of Chubb now on second and goal.
This is a play action pass down. Oh my, and they have another
Wow.
unforced error.
Greg Pike, right tackle.
False start. Offense. Number 73.
That is
5-yard
number
penalty.
73.
Still second down.
It's one of the few games we do all year where both offenses really don't have to concern themselves with crowd noise. You know, both, it's half and half. Neither crowd really tries to take the other team's offense out of their play calling. You can call anything you want at the line of scrimmage and be sure that your offensive lineman will hear the snap count.
Isaiah McKenzie, top of the screen.
And see on McKenzie against Tabor.
They'll test the middle again, and they get nothing. Caleb Brantley, number 57.
I think that was a bust. I think McKenzie, first of all, he was jumping up and down. You see Jacob Eason tapping himself. I think the snap was mistimed, and they wanted to create at least the threat of the jet sweep.
3rd and goal.
Now
No
let's
score.
see if that front four can put some pressure on Issa. Obviously, he is not a running quarterback. They know exactly where he's going to be.
That's Blazevich, the tight end who
They
comes
bring
here.
6.
Here comes the blitz. Asen, back foot. Incomplete. Bring on the field goal.
Actually, they brought 7.
Yeah.
Man-to-man coverage all over the field. A busted play, illegal procedure, but everybody from Florida comes on this play. They try to get a pick across the field, but pretty good coverage by Tabor does not allow any chance for that completion.
Rodrigo Blankenship is the 2nd place kicker used this year. He is 4 of 5, and this will be from 25 yards. Jacob Eason is the holder.
It's a blustery day.
Yeah. Kick is up inside the left upright, and Georgia converts the interception by Dominic Sanders into the first 3 points of the game.
And suddenly, to my surprise,
He did the mash,
he did the monster mash.
the monster mash.
It was a graveyard
He
smash.
did the mash,
It caught on in a flash.
he did the mash.
Then you can monster mash.
Wow.
3-0 Georgia midway through first quarter. Let's go back to the interception.
Yeah, watch
Set up the
Dominic
field.
Sanders there, Vern. You know, when I used to throw a pick, all my buddies would say, how could you not see that guy? Well, look at how the crafty Dominic Sanders sets up the throw. He goes deep and then anticipates the crossing route and makes the play. The all preseason SEC safety made a wonderful play there. A year ago, it was Georgia who threw 4 interceptions early in this game. Well, Florida didn't have a chance to throw many interceptions last year. They threw it, what, 7 times last year?
Yeah. Lost the game 27-3. Here is the kickoff. Rodrigo Blankenship. Chris Thompson. It's still Chris Thompson. Wow. Near the 40. Nice return to give Florida football. By the way, those 3 points, the first points allowed defensively by Florida in this season. Ball has been marked at the 36-yard line, 37. First down 10. Jordan Scarlett, the running back. 3 wides, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Flag. Procedure call.
I think it's a receiver
False start.
again.
Offense, number 10, 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's Josh Hammond in the slot. And complete our starting lineups with the Georgia defense. Hawkins Buckle at an end, Atkins, Thompson, Carter, Dominic Sanders, who made the first turnover in this ball game with his 2nd interception of the year.
Yeah, there are unforced errors like that illegal procedure, but that was a forced error by Georgia. They made that play. That was a good football play.
9 minutes, 50 seconds.
Clock issue, I believe. So they moved it back to 9:51. Luke Del Rio grew up watching games in this stadium as his dad Jack was a coach of the Jaguars. His dad Jack is in the stands today. Oakland, where he's currently the head coach, having a fine season, maybe. We're here, there's Jack, head coach here for 8 years. And the team, the Raiders, stayed in Bradenton, Florida, as they play at Tampa Bay tomorrow. So he gets a chance to watch his son. And there is Luke in the white t-shirt. 8 years as the ball boy. Said he used to run out after kickoffs and grab the kicking tee. He's got a bigger moment in the spotlight today. Jordan Scarlett, nothing. Matter of fact, less than nothing.
And if you think McElwain's a little upset early in this football game, there might be a reason, because a week ago, Florida had 8 false starts against Missouri. They're right on pace in this game with 2. And that'll drive you crazy if you're coach, because it's hard enough to move the ball when things are going well, let alone spotting the other defense 5 yards.
3rd and 11. Got time. Finds his receiver. Nice move to the inside by Tyree Cleveland, a true freshman out of Houston Westfield.
Very simple route. Go down about 14 yards, look back at the quarterback, and hit a non-moving target. When you're a quarterback who's just thrown an interception, it's always nice to throw to a guy who's standing there instead of leading someone into areas that you don't know. Great call by Doug Nussmeier, and pretty darn good protection by Florida on that 3rd down and long.
That's a first down for 49. Michael Pirine is the running back. He heads left, has some help. Picks up about 3 yards.
One of the goals for this Georgia defense is early for Mel Tucker and Kirby Smart is to find out if they can slow the running game without having to put their safety up in the box. So far in all the running downs, Georgia has kept both safeties deep, and they've controlled the running game early in this football game.
That was a gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. This is Antonio Callaway now, matched up bottom of the screen. Leading receiver for the Gators. Malcolm Parrish is the corner who's on him. Del Rio. Decent protection, and he finds the receiver at the 41. That's Brandon Powell. Took a pop in the back. DeAndre Baker was the defender.
That's really the strength of Luke Del Rio's game. If you go way back, he plays a little bit like Brian Griese did for Michigan. When he stays within himself, gets his feet ready and planted, very cerebral, goes through his progression, and usually gets the ball to the right guy. He doesn't have outstanding skills in any area, but makes it happen on the field. Didn't mean that, Brian, that way. Came out right.
Mr. Danielson, Griese on line 2. Nothing doing on that running play. Well, Luke Del Rio started his collegiate career as a preferred walk-on at Alabama. His dad was the defensive coordinator. After getting let loose here with the Denver Broncos, there's a player down at the 40-yard line.
It's 96, Hawk and Mockel right there.
Yeah. He gets a little help. Luke was a high school teammate. We talked about this the last time we did a Florida game with Christian McCaffrey at Valor Christian in Denver, and elected to transfer to Oregon State. And then when Mike Riley left, took the job at Nebraska, Del Rio ultimately wound up back here in his hometown of Jacksonville and signed for the Florida Gators. He's going to keep it and run it, and he's got a first down, and wisely slid after he had accomplished the first down. That's a gain of 12.
Yeah, and that's the new rule this year that college football has smartly allowed, is the quarterback to slide and give himself up. And as you showed in that picture earlier, he's watched a lot of pro football from the sideline, so he's seen that technique throughout his upbringing. Now we'll see what Georgia wants to do. They've been very patient on defense. Now will they start to attack? Kirby's MO at Alabama was, you cross the 35-yard line, he starts to come after you.
Jordan Scarlett gets the handoff and motors inside the 25, just right at it. Florida moving here on their second possession of the game. Kirby Smart, Georgia graduate, on the staff with Jim McElwain under Nick Saban at Alabama for a long time, and then elected to come back to his alma mater, replace Mark Richt as the head coach.
Those first down runs are just good enough that Florida feels great about the way they're rushing the ball early in this game.
Reverse faked. That might be grounding.
Well, it should have been a sack before he let the ball go.
Maurice Smith, number 2. I don't see a flag.
And as we talked about, once they get inside, now the DBs will start to come. They'll start to put pressure, and that will be called a sack.
Yep.
Because I think his knee was down before he got rid of the ball. Or pretty darn close. Would have been grounding anyway. So as the MO played out, when Kirby gets a couple first downs, even though he doesn't have the Alabama defense to support him, he still goes to what he likes to do and then bring people and rush the quarterback.
That's a loss of 15. It's 3rd down and 20.
Yeah, it was kind of a funny play for Florida on that one, don't you think? A little bit too much of a gamble.
Well play, nothing. And this is going to be outside, I believe, of Eddie Piñeiro's range. He has kicked field goals successfully from 54 and 53, so
this would be close to 60.
Yeah, they're going to bring Johnny Townsend, the punter, in. And Isaiah McKenzie, who's over the years been very successful.
He has, but he bobbled. He muffed one last week and bobbled one. Catching the ball is number 1 when you got your heels on the 10.
He's going to let it go, and how about that?
Perfect.
Chris Thompson at the 4-yard line made the catch on the punt. Time call. Presented by Southwest Airlines. Jack. I bet he's very calm right now. He's always been a calm guy.
Remember Luke told us that he's calm for his own games and a nervous wreck for these games.
Oh, okay. From the 4.
Field position, remember, his Georgia team has struggled running the ball against good defenses. They run it well against bad rush defenses in the SEC. Let's see if they can get out from under their own end zone.
So, not much. And let's complete our presentation of the lineups as Caleb Brantley makes that tackle. Defensively, C.C. Jefferson, Clark Ryan, Jared Davis is going. He was a question mark until game time, but he's going to give it a go. Anzalone is an outstanding colleague at the linebacker spot. 2nd down, 9.
Let's see if the tight ends and fullbacks can get him close to a first down here. You got to believe Florida's looking for that.
Fullback in, Christian Payne. Chubb follows him. Great pursuit effort by the Gators. Marquez Ivy, Joey Ivy rather.
Now lined up at, as the rotation goes through on this Florida defense, lined up at left tackle and just makes the play. Just throws his blocker away that time. Pretty embarrassing. Don't want to get circled on one of those like that. Your guy just throws you away on a delayed draw right up the middle. Again, I keep thinking back to that Tennessee where they had a sack in the end zone. Let's see what Georgia and Jim Chaney will do on 3rd down here. Same formation, by the way, when Barnett came off the edge.
Sony Michel, the running back. Eason had time, throws it over the head of Javon Wims.
We'll say this, though. His internal clock was a little better on that one. First guy isn't there. Throw it to the second guy. Even if you have to get it an incomplete pass, you just can't stand there and hold the ball. Inch by inch, Jacob Eason's getting to be a better quarterback.
Antonio Callaway will be back to return the punt. And he's only at the 45-yard line of Georgia.
is very dangerous in this situation.
Marshall Long is the punter. He's checked to make sure his heels are not on the end line. And Glenn Welsh will snap it back.
He went return.
Yes, they did. Callaway at the 40.
Ball's out.
At the 40. Who's got it?
I think Florida jumped on it.
Yeah, they did. Quincy Wilson, it appears, number 6.
He got popped. Short punt, fields it at about the 40, and takes a straight on hit and pops the ball out. And Wilson, the ball hawk he is, basically intercepts the ball on the ground on this one.
Still 3-0 Georgia, late first quarter. Get the CBS Sports app for inside access to Florida, Georgia, or your favorite team. From signing day to game day, you'll get instant coverage of every moment from every angle. Download the CBS Sports app today. After the recovery, Florida at the 39-yard line.
Safety up, closer to the goal line. Georgia gets their safeties up there.
Play fake. Deep. Left side. Is it caught? It is caught. Yes.
He was out. I thought he was out.
Deontay Lewis. Now he's over.
He's out.
One official.
I think you're right. He caught the ball. It was a wheel route to the tight end. But did he get the ball, the foot down? I thought the foot came down there. They're going to get a replay on this. His foot came down. I don't think there should be a replay on this. I think they may overturn this.
John Bible is the replay official today.
Left leg's down.
The ruling on the field was an incomplete pass. The previous play is under further review.
Yeah, I think they're going to overturn this. And you know, Vern, you called it caught, and it was caught, and then I saw how far he landed out of bounds, and I think the officials assumed what I did. There's no way he could get his foot down and fall that far away, but he did. I think that's going to be a completion.
Well, we'll give John Bible time to consider it all. We'll step aside. We are back, and during the step aside, the play was overturned. It is ruled a completed catch.
We saw his left foot was in. The only question is, did he control it? Yes, he did. He controlled the catch, had it from the beginning. When he caught that ball, his left foot was on the ground. The combination of the two. See, from there, you don't know if he's bobbling it. But when you put the two together, his left foot's down, and the other one, he caught it cleanly. A good overturn. About a 15-yard gain, roughly?
Yeah.
17 yards.
And the first down for 22.
And I really like the way Doug Nussmeier has not given up on the passing. His quarterback throws an early interception. He continues to try to stay balanced.
3 wides now, and they hand it off left side to Scarlett. And gain of about 4. They're getting more than 4 yards in almost every first down run.
Yeah, the big question mark, talking to Mel Tucker, the defensive coordinator, and Kirby, was the size of that offensive line for Florida. Now, when you talk to, the Florida coaches, they believe they were whipped by Vanderbilt on the line of scrimmage when they played them. That was the one team they just couldn't block them. They just said that they lean on it. And through the entire length of the game, you got to keep fresh bodies in there because they're huge on that offensive line.
LaMichael Pirine is the running back, split to the left. Empty backfield, that one drilled a little too hard. Yeah, maybe a foot behind the pass for Pirine.
Those types of catches, if that's a 20-yard throw, the receiver can adjust to it. But on those short throws, the receiver, especially a running back, does not have the time to adjust to that throw. They have to be put right on the body.
3rd down 6. Callaway will be the outside receiver on the right side. Tyree Cleveland is in the slot. Brandon Powell is up on the line of scrimmage. Del Rio got him. Broken tackle into the end zone. Keontae Lewis, touchdown, Florida.
Boy, they're called racks. Run after catch and a missed tackle. Dominic Sanders, number 24. This should be a completion, a tackle, and a field goal attempt. Instead, it's an extra point attempt.
Eddie Pinheiro for the extra point.
See, that's a perfect defensive call. They rushed 5 people. Luke Del Rio had to get rid of it quickly. He dumps it to his tight end, and instead of 4-yard gain, he gets a touchdown.
And the lead. The missed tackle from Dominic Sanders. And Florida leads 7-3. Yes. Eddie Pinheiro will kick off. Reggie Davis and Brandon Douglas will beat. Doesn't matter. Let's go back, Gary, to the 2 big plays on the touchdown.
Right, after Quincy Wilson recovered the fumble, it was Lewis with 2 catches. The overturned play, then Keontae Lewis again on 3rd down makes the catch over the middle, should have been stopped for a field goal try. So a 4-play, 39-yard drive, 36 of them in the air to Lewis.
First down.
And Vern, Georgia trails, and they've trailed in every game this season. So they're right where they are used to be.
Started off 3-0, did the Bulldogs, but it was a shaky 3-0 after a convincing win against North Carolina. Remember, they outlasted Nicholls State by 2. Pressure, Eason dropped.
He's fortunate he held on to the ball.
I think so too. Jalen Tabor.
Very interesting design. An illusion on the play. Pre-snap, it looked like Quincy Wilson was going to rush. And what happened, he was creating the illusion and allowing the other corner, Tabor, to blitz. Really nice disguise by the Florida Gator defense.
A loss of 11, 2nd down and 21. And they'll continue their activity at the north end of the stadium. That's the end of the first quarter with the score 7-3 Florida. Back to Jacksonville after this message and a word from your local station. We welcome you back to Jacksonville and the Georgia-Florida game with Georgia now trailing Florida 7-3. They've got it with a 2nd down. Eason into trouble, gets rid of it. That caught?
I think he did. I think it was Chubb.
Well, Vern Lundquist, Gary Daniels, and we were just laughing amongst ourselves, as you say, that when we first started this thing near Halloween, we had a pumpkin budget.
Oh, yeah.
These really good pumpkins, right?
And the year before I was here, it had another name of the whole game. And then I come, and there's no longer
Yeah, they can't call it that anymore.
Right, that's not right. Hey, both teams have a little bit of good in this game. Florida survived a couple of turnovers. One that was real and one that could have been. Georgia has been in the game, stopping, or at least controlling the run. Let's see if they can get a big play here pretty soon.
3rd down, 8. Eason chased, got a man wide open.
There's the big play.
Oh my gosh. Terry Godwin, number 5.
Well, this was all Eason. Actually, the last 2 plays were all Jacob Eason. Shows you the talent and why everybody wanted it. Was kind of here, and then watch Eason point him up Well, you can't see it. We're on the coverages in the back, but Eason actually points Godwin down deep and then delivers the ball to turn the field upside down. Eason, who's not known as a scrambler, made 2 big plays the last 2. One to Chubb, see him, send him deep, and then let it go. Wonderful play by Jacob Eason.
Gain of 38, a first down, play action. Eason stands, he's got a man for man at the goal line, and a strips.
Yep.
And the flag comes out.
No doubt.
Quincy Wilson on Michael Chigbu, number 82.
Pass interference.
Chigbu against
Defense.
Wilson.
Number 6, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And Chigbu wins.
Well, with the help of the officials, but you're correct. Wilson was there, obvious interference, and one of the things Jim Chaney told me, even as good as these corners are, we cannot afford to keep throwing the ball short. Otherwise, they will squat, and make each throw tougher. We have to chuck it downfield at least, he said to me, 8 times in this football game. So far, they got 2.
And a first down 10 at the 20. Nick Chubb was injured first game last year, second game, missed the season with really bad injury to his knee. So he sat out the remainder of the season to open this season against North Carolina. 222 yards. There's the injured knee at Tennessee. And the comeback, 222 week 1. He has only had 1 100-yard plus game since the opener. Second down. Inside run. Nick Chubb.
You talk to the coaches around the league. One of the guys on the defensive line they always signal out is Caleb Brantley, number 57. I think he's here. Made a good play inside. Now it was actually the other side of tackling. He beats his man inside and then forces the play. Brantley does.
Third down 4. Sony Michel alongside Eason in the backfield. Now the chase, he pulls up, he's got a man wide open, and it is caught by Riley Ridley for the touchdown. Only the 8th catch of the season for Ridley. You might remember one of those against Tennessee that went for 47 yards with 10 seconds left. And we thought that was the game winner, and turned out not to be.
Well, the last drive for Florida on the touchdown drive, you're going to give it to Seontae Lewis, number 80. This one you got to give to Jacob Eason. 3 different scrambles, all broken plays, all gouge this Florida defense.
Rodrigo Blankenship out of Eason's hole. Perfect.
This is the last of the 3. Eason probably runs a 5.2 40. Nothing there. So what does he do? Get out? And then the Georgia, look at those Florida defenders. They all think he's a running quarterback. He was not. He's looking downfield. And just like Matt Stafford, he has that arm when he's running to the left. He can still flick it forward. What a talented football player.
Well, as we go back to Jacksonville.
And so here, Georgia has reclaimed the lead. 10 points. First quarter set 13 yards and 3 points. And a fine drive engineered by Jacob Eason on that last play. Chris Thompson. Down to 24. Gary, take a look at Jacob Eason on that last
Well,
drive.
it was a 75-yard drive, took 6 plays, but these 3 plays were all breaking down plays. 13 yards to Chubb, 38 yards to Godwin, all out of the pocket, all not within the plan of the play, and then, of course, the touchdown pass at the end to Riley. What a wonderful job. 3 plays, all not as designed, but all as a guy making You know, this guy threw a lot of passes in high school. He's been basically a top recruit since he was a sophomore. And interestingly, after Mark Richt got let go at Georgia, he actually visited Florida before he decided to stay with Georgia.
First down 10. Great fake.
Great defense.
Incomplete. Let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Hey, Vern, I've been watching Eason and Coach Chaney on the sidelines. They've been communicating heavily after every drive. He keeps asking him, what did you see? And early on in the game, they had some differences in what they saw out there. Eason answered. Chaney looked at him and just started shaking his head no. But after that drive, he gave him a big high five, a hug. He said, that's what I'm talking about. He followed up with, remember, you still have that first down if that touchdown pass wasn't there, but great job. Keep it up.
Excellent. Second down, 10. Jordan Scarlett, again the running back. And off to Scarlett, comes left. Keeps on his feet for a first down. Reggie Carter finally caught up with him, number 45. That's a gain of 12.
Well, if they can pound the ball and make first downs in the running game, eventually this Georgia defense will crack. They've been really good in picking up the receivers. On that first down play, they had everybody covered, nowhere to go with the ball. But a simple run play that they expected 3 or 4 yards gets Florida a first down.
10-7 our score, first down Gators. Scarlett again. Jim McElwain told us yesterday he expected to feature Scarlett and Perine. And to mention once again that Mark Thompson, another of the running backs, has been suspended.
Well, we remember the last 2 years that we were here when it was the Florida rushing game that just won the football game with Will Muschamp his last year, and then last year again with Jim McElwain's first year. 2 years ago they rushed for 418, and last year 258. Georgia must control it. You don't have to shut it out, but you have to control it.
And now it's number 22, LaMichael Perine. 2 wide receivers to the right. Del Rio forced out of the pocket and throws it away. John Atkins had great pressure that time, number 97.
Decent protection early, but Georgia kept fighting and pushing. Again, good coverage in the secondary. The only guy, as Vern showed you, number 97, Atkins, the only guy that might have had a chance was Callaway deep on that play, and Luke did not see him.
So third down 7.
Callaway ran a deep route, and he's not out on the field here.
Del Rio flushed, finally, fires it. That will be short of the first down. Josh Hammond, but it will be fourth down. Johnny Townsend on for Jim McElwain's ball club. Isaiah McKenzie is back to return it. Really nice and high. Fair catch, ball for, taken at the 13-yard line. That's a 44-yard punt, most importantly. No return. 9:54 to go, first half. 10-7, Dogs. Back in Jacksonville, time to take a look at our Home Depot tools for success.
I think it's easy playing quarterback. Look what Florida's doing to the young quarterback. They fake the corner blitz one way, and then they come the opposite direction with the corner blitz the other way. That's why it's so tough for these young quarterbacks, and what was so impressive about Eason getting out of the pocket and making those plays. He's up against Jeff Collins, 2 future NFL corners, and they're giving him every look possible to try to keep him off his game.
10-7, 9:54 to go. First half.
So just scramble outside of the pocket and throw
That's
it.
it.
How
Yeah.
hard can this be, right?
Pretend like you're in the 11th grade at Lake Stevens High School. Lake Stevens, Washington. Sony Michel is the running back.
Well, Vern, we talked about how tough it is for a young quarterback. Since these guys, what do they have in common? Eric Zeier, Mike Bobo, Quincy Carter, David Green, Joe Tuschinski, Matthew Stafford, Joe Cox, Aaron Murray, Hudson Mason, and Fatah Bata.
They all started against Georgia.
Their
Florida.
first start against Georgia, they all lost.
Against Florida.
Since 1989, Greg Talley, the last guy to do it, winning his first start against Florida.
See, folks, this is a further example of why Gary does not join us for dinner on Friday nights.
I read it somewhere else. I mean, I didn't make it up. You know?
No, I know that. It's the diligence of your homework that
I just thought that was amazing. I mean, that's some big names. Matt Stafford, David Green, Eric Zeier, Mike Bobo, Quincy Carter, they were all successful quarterbacks. But how tough it is to be effective in this game when it's your first start.
Well, Eason has his team with a lead.
I think I even pronounced 2 of them correctly.
Oh, you were very... Fatone Bata can be a challenge.
He's outside the pocket.
There he goes.
And threw it away.
Yeah, he sure did.
Another win for him at least, and that Florida defense forced him with a 3-and-out.
4th and 7.
That Florida defense, if you're an offensive player for Florida a week ago, they had 9 3-and-outs against Missouri in that football game. 6 consecutive to start the game. The Florida offense was getting tired running it on and off the field real fast. That's how fast Florida was getting 3-and-outs against Missouri.
Marshall Long on to punt.
Not a great one.
Not much of a return either to the 48. And now their flags late and a Georgia player down. That's the punter, Marshall Long.
And he is deemed a defenseless player, so they have to be careful hitting the punter after he kicks.
Unsportsmanlike conduct foul. Number 11 on the receiving team. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. It'll be a first down. That's number 11's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul.
Vosheen Joseph, number 11. Backup linebacker.
And had he hit him with a blow with his helmet or to the head, it could have been called targeting. After the quarterback or the kicker either throws it or punts it or kicks it, he is considered defenseless.
Saw the flag, saw the penalty. Time has been called. It's 10-7 Georgia. Georgia leading 10-7, 8:23 to go, first half. Let's take you back to 2006, Florida, Georgia. There's a guy, Matthew Stafford.
True freshman in this football game.
Right.
There was another true freshman quarterback in this game.
I remember him. I remember Stafford as well. Tim Tebow. And there's Tim on the sideline, part of the SEC Nation crew. Steve Spurrier came up to chat with Gary and me before the game, and he was on the set with Tim and Danny Werfel today.
Yeah.
And Steve said, "I'm trying to sell a book."
I got a T-shirt just like that. Doesn't look as good on me.
Yeah, I know. Spurrier said he was here in town for a book signing, and he didn't realize, but Tebow was at the other end of town at a book signing.
I think I wear mine in bed when I go to sleep.
I don't want to know that.
Public.
I just don't want to go there. Brandon Connell
Well, just to give you an idea, that was our first Florida-Georgia game together.
Right. Yes, it
the
was.
year before, Mark Richt had won the SEC championship against LSU in that football game. Stafford, 13 for 33. No touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Tebow, 6 rushes for 36 yards, had a big fumble. Percy Harvin, 8 for 38. They were the leading rushers for Florida in that game.
10-7 in this one. 2nd down and 7. Left side. That's going to leave yardage necessary for the first down.
We're going to learn a lot about what Florida believes in themselves right now with this play call. 3rd and short, 2 yards. Do they think they can run the ball? Will they try to finesse it? Will they leave it up to Luke Del Rio? Very interesting call for Doug Nussmeier.
This is their first 3rd down conversion attempt. Blitz threat. Del Rio rolling right, has time for the moment, and then directs his receiver to come up, and it's incomplete.
Don't understand it. They ran a pick play to the outside to get Goolsby open. They picked him cleanly, and Luke Del Rio wasn't looking for the play. He gave up on his first guy. Watch the pick play right here. Goolsby out to the flat. Pick right there. He's open. Throw him the ball. What are you doing? Looking deep down the field. He went by his number 1. He got a little too cute. Thought the number 1 guy would be covered, and he gave up a first down. That's a bust for Luke Del Rio.
And that brings on Johnny Townsend. Isaiah McKenzie at the 15-yard line. Under 7 to go. First down. This one backs McKenzie up. He's going to let it bounce. And it will scoot into the end zone for a touchback. 55-yard punt. Nothing on the return. Jacob Eason, freshman from Lake Stevens, Washington. 6:51 to go in the first half. Let's go back to that 3rd down play.
Barely in our picture. There's Goolsby right here. You're going to see, if you keep your eyes to the left, the pick play. I think it's Josh Hammond that gets the pick. Look at Goolsby waving for the ball. And for some reason, Luke Del Rio is going for the big play instead of the first down play. Moving the chains is what this guy's paid to do in that situation.
So Georgia gets the ball back after the touchback. First down.
I mean, his dad was a pro coach, paid to do.
Yeah, I get the theme.
I know.
I get the theme.
Send all your messages to Vern. He'll read them in his days on his cruise coming up.
Brian Arians. Oh my gosh. Well, to get out of this, let's cue the duck. It's time for the Aflac trivia question of the game. Which 2 former Georgia players defeated Florida as a Georgia head coach? Kirby Smart trying to join the list. This is a toughie.
Remember, Jim Chaney said he wanted to get some deep balls. This would be an interesting time to go deep. Florida does not believe it.
Brian Herrien is still the running back when he gets the handoff. Darts to the outside.
Tough yards, tough sledding against this team.
He's out. Nick Washington with the tackle then, number 8.
The problem for the Georgia offense all year, all the Georgia fans know this, but if you haven't been watching them every game, is it does seem one game they can throw it, the next game they can run it. They can't find the balance. That's what they're looking for in this game. They've had 20 plays. They've run it 12, passed it 8 times. Chaney would love a balanced attack.
There you go. First 3 games, next 3 games, and then against Vanderbilt, only 2.1 average. 3rd down.
Here comes this Florida. They're going to blitz it.
And Eason had to get rid of it quickly.
Safety blitz that time. That came from Nick Washington, the free safety that time from the 2nd level. But I tell you, Jacob Eason did a good job. He backpedaled, tried to buy time. You're going to see Washington's coming right up there. He's always going to be unaccounted for. When the safety blitzes, you know as a quarterback, no one is assigned to that guy. You have to back up, buy time, and see if you can hit someone.
Antonio Callaway is back to return the punt of Marshall Long. This is one of Callaway's specialties, but this year, I think amazing. He's averaging less than 3 yards per return. That was a bit of a high snap. Bounces at the 50.
Well, Florida cannot complain about the field position they've had the last couple of drives. I'll tell you that.
This one is marked at the 44-yard line. Well, we've got little over 5 left in this one. First half. That was a 20-yard punt return, and we're going to go back to the studio for our Geico halftime report. That's coming up at the completion of the first half. From the 44, first down 10, 5:12 to go in the half. Both teams, all 3 timeouts left. Here's Del Rio, goes across the middle, crossing pattern. Antonio Callaway with the catch.
Trez Patrick, number 6. Juan Smith, number 3. Number 1 and number 2 tacklers, 2 sophomores, having a lot of experience, 2 really athletic players, and of course Reggie Carter is rotating in there as well, number 45.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Perine is in the backfield. Tries to break the tackle at the 40 and can't. It'll be 3rd down. That was Trenton Thompson, number 78. Made the stop.
He was the big guys take out blocks and the linebackers feel holes. Watch number 45. We talked about Carter. Watch him hit it, take on the big blocker in front, and allow someone else to make the tackle. Good linebacker play by Carter. I think if I'm Doug Nussmeier right here, I'm wondering if I have 2 downs to pick this up.
Brandon Powell, number 4, in motion. Del Rio goes to the right side. He's got a man. It's Callaway, wasn't it, though?
Try to cover this one. You want to play corner against elite receivers? Watch this. He's going down. Now watch how quick he stops and he's back and a perfect throw to the outside. That is that practice time and the elite receiver that Antonio Callaway can be. It's impossible to cover that pass rush.
That's a gain of 13. He did so.
And it will, excuse me, Vernon, it will also set up the stutter play for later.
Malcolm Parrish was defended. On first down. Scarf to the 25. 3:15 to go. Aaron Davis, number 35, is the stop for Georgia. Full complement of timeouts remaining. And we are at the 3-minute mark, and Davis will head to the bench.
Neither one of these teams like to go hurry up. In fact, a year ago in this game, the 2 teams ran 56 and 67 plays, almost unheard of now in college football.
Flip out of the backfield, right side. It's going to be close for a first down. Perine.
Perine has a lot of talent. You know, he gets that ball on the edge, and he's tough to angle up. And boy, at the end of that play, one of the fans, a little too close, was taken out by the linebacker, Juan Smith, and helped up afterwards, I might say.
Third down 1, 2:22 to go. That should be enough. First down, Florida.
Just enough push. Remember we talked about the thing that this Florida offensive line does is they kind of engulf you. They've had trouble with quickness in front of them. Vanderbilt showed that. They were moving and stunting, and they gave them problems. Does not look so far that this Georgia defensive line has been able to purse that offensive line and get inside and make the tackles for loss.
Trailing by 3, the Gators have a first down with 1:52 before the halftime break. Del Rio mix up and a flag thrown. Yeah, looked like there was contact. Keontae Lewis, who has the Florida touchdown today, was the intended receiver.
It was the wheel route and the seam. Coming right down there like that. And let's see. Yeah, he kind of tried to cut in front of the throw that time and grabbed him. Malcolm Parrish is the one who kind of got him with his hip.
Defense,
hand on his hip.
number 14. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
Interesting way to run 4 vertical. You do it with a back on the wheel route and the tight end right up the hash. Now watch Parrish right here. See if he grabs the hip. He did. With his right hand, he turned him, and that's enough. It looked like the ball was overthrown, uncatchable, but how would the official know otherwise?
Well, let's check the Georgia Verizon defense in the red zone. Look at this. National average is 63%. This is the worst in the SEC.
Well, remember when Georgia was down there, they had an illegal procedure to help the defense. See if Florida will make a mistake.
C.C. Jefferson is in the backfield. Defensive lineman Del Rio, play fake, throws it away. Good defending in the end zone. So Jefferson, the defensive line, had there been a run, was going to lead the way to the right side.
Interesting call here. First down, you put a defensive end in. Let's see back here
Number 9,
if anybody's out.
Yeah. He had 2 defensive linemen.
Yep. And nobody open.
No.
Those defensive linemen just do not run good routes.
Try and try and
That's
try.
Right. They need more work.
This one's in. Jordan Scarlett gets the opening at the left guard position. And Florida is back on top.
Well, C.C. Jefferson as Jack and someone was celebrating Luke Del Rio's drive. Try the pass on first down and come back with the power on the second. Martez Ivy, number 73, had a pretty good block here. Let's see what Ivy does on this play. There was a lot of space. Yes, he just absolutely blows out the linebacker, and C.C. Jefferson really had no money.
Well, as you look at it again, I want to confirm that was Linda Del Rio.
Okay.
That was Luke's mom.
That's important, believe me.
14-10 with 1:37 to go in the first half. We are taking our time here, and I think an explanation is due.
We're laughing because Vern's still not sure which one was Mrs. Del Rio and who was daughter Del Rio, right?
Yeah, that's true. But you weren't sure either. Don't put all this on me.
But I didn't say anything. No, you did.
I'll fess up. What are they going to do?
Exactly.
Oh.
Now we're going to solve it. We just
no.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we need a solution here.
Right.
Now I'm thinking that's the sister.
I'm going for that. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That's the son. Pretty sure about that.
Yeah, I know that. And neither of those two are Matt Stafford's parents.
It's a long ago story.
I know it is. It's inside football. But it's why we were taking our time.
Yes.
I didn't take quite enough time.
That's for sure.
Sony Michel is the running back. Georgia has all 3 timeouts left, and they've got the ball at the 25. 3, 2, 1.
Delay. I think Georgia called a timeout before the delay. The flag was called.
Prior to the delay of game, timeout, Georgia. Still first charge.
Time has been called as Georgia got one and got the clock. The usual sellout crowd in Jacksonville for the Georgia-Florida game. And it's time to get the Duck back center stage with the answer to the Aflac trivia question, which was 2 former Georgia players defeated Florida's Georgia head coach, Kid Woodruff and Ray Goff. If you got Kid Woodruff, I'm buying dinner for the family. Now I'm going to get a call from Lauren Smith, my Georgia buddy.
He would know it.
Yeah, he would know. Absolutely.
Free play. Florida's offsides.
Throws it deep and into the sideline.
Offside. Defense, number 57. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Yep. Caleb Brantley.
Kept it alive and let it go and toss it. Brantley ends up tossing him aside as well. So Georgia blows a timeout, but it's better than getting a 5-yard penalty. They still have 2. And remember, they get the ball back to start the second half. There's no need to make a huge mistake here at the end of the half. 14-10 game. There are plenty in the football game. Be very careful not to make a mistake at your own end of the field right now.
Four-man rush coming in from the backside. A lot of pressure on Eason. It'll be second down and 5. 1:24 to go.
These were both off the edge, and Eason could feel the edge rushers this time. Could have been holding on the outside that time because Jamari Zaninga was held.
Second down 5. Eason drills it. Man open. Dropped.
Man.
Riley Ridley. Five yards behind the defender.
He actually misjudged the ball. This wasn't that bad of an underthrow. When you got a guy that open like this, Eason up in the pocket, look at, he sees it. He was slightly behind him, but he keeps backing away from him. Obviously not a perfect pass, but one you hope the receiver can come up with and get it into plus territory.
And receives help as he limps rather, toward the Georgia bench. He's got a touchdown reception in this game. See the coach's reaction in the background.
Yeah, and you knew, I mean, that throw, if a perfect throw, he's going to score. So it was an underthrow, but probably still could have been caught.
So third down 5. Four-man rush again. Eason.
Another trap.
Yep. Jason Stanley, number 2, who has yet to catch a pass this year. And it's fourth down.
Well, he had a drop last week, a couple weeks ago, excuse me, and that one was a big time drop because that keeps the chains moving and put yourself in field position to try to put points on the board, and now Florida's going to have plenty of time.
Yeah, the clock stopped, and Bryce Ramsey is back. Now, he punted a couple of years ago. style punt, high, fair catch called, and taken at the 34. Antonio Callaway.
Bryce Ramsey wanted to run that one.
Yeah.
He really did. He looked back and he kind of said, I should have gone with it. Struggling with the punting. They put in Bryce Ramsey, a quarterback. He looks, he punts it, and then he looks over the bench going, I think I could have made that for a first down. Yep, see, I should have ran.
Florida has all 3 timeouts left with 1:06 to go in the half.
One of the things that Florida does really well, they're a great screen team. Let's see if they start off this series with a screen.
Across the middle it goes, and it's incomplete. Jordan Scarlett, the running back, the intended receiver.
Look deep, good coverage by Georgia, dumps it off.
One minute remaining. Second down 10. Del Rio, good as he lets it go. Lorenzo Carter got to him.
This could be intentional grounding right here. Did not cross the line of scrimmage. I don't know if there was anybody in the area. Are they going to call it or not? I think they will. Avoiding the stack. Lorenzo Carter from the right side. He feels it and just throws it away. He was saving yardage with that throw.
Intentional grounding.
Yep.
Offense, number 14. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. Loss of down. It'll be second down.
Good job by Lorenzo Carter that time. Did you notice how he tackled with his face mask? He did not lower his head, and that's a completely legal hit on the quarterback. Now Georgia with 2 timeouts.
Yes.
Will use one after this play. As long as they don't get a first down, obviously.
Ball is inside the 20 after the penalty.
Correction, third down.
What will Jim McElwain allow Luke Del Rio to do? Remember, he's got an elite defense. Will he dangerously throw downfield, or will he dump off on a draw screen type play?
Little huddle for the officials before we get the play snapped on the far side. "55 seconds to go before the
Interestingly,
half."
this whole drive, no Antonio Callaway.
Yeah. 3rd and 25. Draw play. Keep it
Timeout.
conservative.
Timeout quickly by Kirby Smart.
Well, they haven't stopped the clock yet. Now they do. Now here was the near sack of Del Rio by Lorenzo Carter, and Luke Del Rio got up.
Still wearing that left knee brace. I wonder if he tweaked it.
Time has been called. It's 4th down. Luke Del Rio on the bench, limped a little bit. Might be the result of this injury 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, against North Texas, he took a shot to his left knee. That was the play that Coach McElwain came out of the field calling it a dirty hit. I don't think it was, and afterward he copped that he was wrong, but still wearing the brace, and that last hit might have jarred it.
Johnny Townsend on the punt. 49 seconds to go before the break. And Georgia with 1 timeout left. McKenzie with the fair catch. Tonight on the CBS Sports Network, touchdown machine Jeremy McNichols leads the undefeated and 13th ranked Boise State Broncos as they take on Wyoming at 7 Eastern, presented by Geico, 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Rich Waltz and Adam Archuleta will be in the booth for that one. You ever done a game in Laramie?
I don't think so. I thought I did, but
you would remember.
No, I've done Wyoming, but I don't know if I did one in Wyoming.
Okay. Eason breaks the tackle and slides down short of the first down, but the wise play.
And it's whether Georgia should use their timeout now because their receivers are way downfield. They're going to burn a lot of time.
Snap it with 25 seconds left. He did not get out of bounds.
No, but it was a first down. The clock will stop quickly, but he has to get up there and spike the ball. Must have 2 plays in the huddle. Same play.
Little pressure. Got it. Terry Godwin. And that stops the clock with 11 seconds.
He has what I call arm arrogance.
Ooh.
He doesn't even need to step into these throws. He just kind of backs up, and just whips it. Watch this, flat-footed. Doesn't even step to the receiver, much like the way Matthew Stafford used to do it.
Yep.
Be a 58-yarder from right here if they kick the field goal and don't gain another yard.
Well, and their place kicker's longest of the year is 45. First down, 11 seconds to go.
Get rid of it.
Heaves it. Hit the pylon. Marcel Harris with the pressure on Eason. Pretty accurate if you were aiming for the pylon.
Yeah, they hit a receiver that just could not get out of his break. He couldn't take a sack. I think they're going to go Hail Mary here, aren't they?
Got to.
Well, Tennessee taught them how to do it.
That's a reminder that Eason hit Ridley for a touchdown from 47 yards to take a lead against Tennessee. And then Juwan Jennings got a Hail Mary pass with 4 seconds to go.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of hail on that.
No,
it was a straight throw. It didn't even try to throw it to the end zone.
Well, it's a clear day. Partly cloudy at least. Chances of hail almost nil.
They put these receivers into the boundary, and once they got jammed, there wasn't a lot of room to get into the end zone and no opportunity to throw it. Kind of a missed opportunity.
Little coaching moment there for Kirby Smart with his freshman quarterback, Jacob Eason. It's now time for Inside Access, presented by AT&T, official sponsor of the SEC. Here's Allie with Kirby Smart.
Coach, you shared a moment with your quarterback, Jacob Eason, right there before the half. What did you tell him?
Well, I just told him he can't scramble in that situation. If he does, he's got to get the first down. He can't slide short of the first down, but he's growing up and he's learning.
You said this would be a game of cat and mouse, which is exactly what that first half was. What will give you the edge in the second half?
Well, we got to be more physical up front. We got to be able to run the ball better on both sides of the ball. We got to control the run game defensively. You know, we've played decent on defense, but we keep giving up and self-destructing on third down. We got to find something on offense we can go to. They got a good defense.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Again, for the 2 years in a row, the inability for Georgia to run the ball, only 19 yards rushing in the first half.
And that is the end of the first half with the score 14-10 Florida. Now let's go to Adam Zucker in our New York studio. All right.
And a catch made by Sheontae Lewis. He breaks a tackle, turns upfield, and he scores! Now he throws it deep. He's got Godwin. Godwin makes it. He's going to throw it in the end zone. Wide open. Touchdown! Here's a handoff. Looking to Bush Garland. He's in! Touchdown! Gators!
Florida, Georgia at the half, 14-10 Gators. We get set for the start of the third quarter. Moments ago, Allie the Force with Florida head coach Jim McElwain.
Coach, your defense was so dominant in that first half. They only had 13 yards offense in the first quarter. How were you able to be so dominant?
Well, you know what? Those guys are doing a good job. We're doing a good job of gap control, number one, but you know, our rush lanes, you know, he's hurt us a little bit getting in and out of that pocket, and he's made some big throws downfield. We got to make sure that we're disciplined up front, not allowing him to get out of that pocket.
Offensively, you hurt yourself to start this game. How do you get off to a faster start in the second half?
You know, I think you were the one that brought up it was one game in 28 days or something like that. Kind of looked like it a little bit, but you know what? We had some guys that were excited to play. I thought we calmed down and did some decent things, but we got to play with a lot more consistency.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
All right, Allie, and Georgia will receive the ball to open the third quarter, trailing by 4. Eddie Pinheiro will kick off for the Gators. And that will not be returned in any way, shape, or form. Well, we start the third with Georgia. Tough moving the ball, but they do have an opportunity.
You know, I got to believe that McElwain, being an offensive coach, is more frustrated than Kirby Smart is. I mean, he's had a dominant defense. This is, you know, 2 years of dominant defense, and McElwain can't find an offense. Where Kirby's going, hey, I like the pace of this football game. The only thing going for Florida, I believe, is, as Jim told Allie, is most of the yards have been on broken plays. Within the main offense, they've handled them pretty well.
Then a swing pass into the left flat, Terry Godwin. And Gary, take us through the first half trends.
Yeah, really nothing stands out in this game. Not a lot of plays in the game. Both quarterbacks relatively pedestrian except for some broken plays, and neither team able to rush the ball. It's going to be a very slow game, much like last year.
First down 10.
I know I said this last year, but
6.
It does feel like a big mistake is going to determine this game.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's a certain lethargy to it all,
yes.
Really. And there's a sack. There's a little energy from Alex Anzalone.
Well, there was about 3 different guys that really went through this quarterback and forced Jacob Eason to move around in the pocket. And finally, number 54, Clark, is the one who finished it off. And Anzalone, you're right, 34 and 54.
Third down and 12.
They've really stayed away from the 2 corners for Florida.
4 wides. Eason so far 8 of 17. Pressure from the edge. He gets bumped as he lets it go, and it's incomplete. And let's check in with Allie on Ridley.
Vern, we saw Ridley get hurt before the half. I was just told by Georgia that he is out for the rest of the game with a left ankle injury.
Oh. That is hurtful. Here's Bryce Ramsey again.
And he is one of their speed, taller receivers. Right now, you're looking at their biggest receiver now would be Reggie Davis, 81. Gives him any size.
Ramsey with that rugby-style punt, and this one is going to be ineffective unless he gets a positive bounce, and he does not. Ramsey, the backup quarterback, also the backup punter, but that one only went 25 yards. Tigers Stadium, Alabama.
Going down, Jonathan Allen.
LSU.
Fournette lowers the boom.
Well, we're kind of looking forward to that.
Listen, if LSU isn't ready for that game, they're not going to be able to get up for a football game. There's 7 more days of talk for that game.
20 straight for Alabama Crimson Tide. LSU Came out of the blocks roaring last week. Ed Orgeron, the interim coach after the early season dismissal of Les Miles. Scarlett goes left, and again they get positive yardage on the ground.
That may say a lot of how Florida is going to attack this second half. The last 2 years, Florida has only thrown a total of 8 passes in the second half. In 2014, they threw 1, and last year only 7. Will they try to pound away again in this game?
And they won both those games convincingly. They'll do it again. This time I think the surge is stopped. Well, it's going to be close, won't it?
Now he fell across the yellow line.
Move it.
Keep pushing. Ivy gets a good block again up front. Towards the end of the play, he falls across.
Scarlett with 12 carries for 48 yards now. It's first down 10. And Florida leads it 14-10. 3 wides to the left side.
Antonio Callaway back out on the field. Got him.
Does he ever? Callaway drifts under it, has to wait on it, and a flag is thrown at the goal line.
Yep. Can almost feel that one coming.
Pass interference. Defense, number 18, 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Nice job. Did you see that subtle move by Callaway to move inside and block DeAndre Baker off? He really forced Baker to interfere on the play. The ball was thrown late and thrown behind, but that very subtle move of moving back into the middle of the field, watch him get to the middle and then tries to fall away, and then just enough contact that it was called.
Well, he certainly had his man beaten, and then Del Rio did not quite get it there. First down 10, though, after the pass interference call.
Pound, don't you think?
I do.
Luke, nice tackle.
Perine.
I think Patrick is the guy that hit him in the hole that time. Number 6.
Natrez Patrick, the linebacker.
Takes on the block, tosses him away, and then makes the tackle. Seontae Lewis has had some nice catches, but that time he got stuffed by the linebacker.
Josh Hammond goes to the right side, wide receiver. Second down and 9. Perine. Stick on. But a good job of fighting that off, and DeAndre Baker comes up to clean it up.
Well, 2 tight ends on the field. Lewis got beat the last time, but this time he does a nice job on the edge. Gets outside. He's got Maurice Smith, number 2, and watch him keep going, keep working to get a positive play in 3rd and short. Well, last time, recall that on 3rd and short, Florida tried the pick play to the outside. Will they throw again, or will they think differently? Recall that was the play that Luke Del Rio didn't see the short man.
Brandon Powell is in the backfield. Ahmad Fullwood. Top of the screen. Del Rio.
Same thing.
Incomplete.
Same thing. I'm surprised. I have to say, I thought they would come and pound on that play. They were successful, and that time good coverage. Tried to get it inside and stick it into the receiver that time. And nice coverage on the back end to make that play.
That will bring on Eddie Pinheiro, the redshirt sophomore. He's 9 of 12 for the year.
By the way, just a second look, that was DeAndre Baker, number 18, that had the interference, but had the nice play to finish off.
Kick is up. No good.
Wow. What a stop for Georgia. How about that, huh?
Ignites a little enthusiasm on that Georgia bench.
Well, he was 2 for 3 last week, and right there, Coach McElwain goes over. He knows he might need him later. But this one started out right and never came back.
Thought I had it, thought I had it, thought I had it. Oh, shucks. How about that for a break if you're wearing Georgia red and black? Not so good if you're... Oh, sometimes I just want to hide. Sun beginning to set in the west over the city of Jacksonville and the St. Johns River. Our aerial coverage today provided by Goodyear. For 60 years, Goodyear has provided aerial coverage of college football's greatest traditions and biggest rivalries.
Let's see if Georgia can get Nick Chubb in this football game. We talked about it, that Eason needed help. Can they get some yards from the tailback?
They'll try here. It's Reggie Davis on the end around instead. Alex Anzalone with the tackle.
Well, as you remember, Hallie talking to Kirby Smart, he said we got to get the running game going. And we got a freshman quarterback in this game. We got to give him some help. So far, what do they got? 14 yards this half?
Yeah, and the leading rusher is Nick Chubb with 15 yards on 7 carries.
Yep.
Chubb is in.
Same play. Yeah. Both offensive coordinators getting a little cute in their play calling. Neither one feel they can block the front of the other team.
Well, watch Jabari Zuniga. I'll leave it to you to explain.
Jabari Zuniga right there didn't make the play. He's getting a lot more playing time because of the injury to Brian Cox, the thumb injury.
Saw Brian Cox with a big wrap on his left wrist. 3rd and 9. Eason under pressure again, but it's caught. Terry Godwin out of bounds short of the first down.
And again, he had to throw it backing up on the play. Getting pressure. He can feel the pressure. Zuniga again. And he also knows from the other side, it will be Clayton, number 90, that will be putting pressure. 2 young football players that have great futures for that Florida defensive line.
Well, after that 25 kick from Bryce Ramsey, Marshall Long is back out there. This one a fair catch taken at the 43-yard line by Antonio Callaway. Kirby Smart, Georgia alum, first year head coach at his alma mater. (14-10) here, Florida. A lot of anticipation for the first committee results to be announced on Tuesday. We don't need to wait.
No, since 2006 we've been doing it different, haven't we?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about we. Sometimes I'm there by myself on this stuff. I believe nobody knows who's good. So it's going to be all what you do on the field. Championship counts. These teams control their own destiny. Of course, West Virginia already. Remember, it's not even November yet. They need a little bit of help, the second layer. A lot of teams still involved in this. And I even think 2 lost teams from the major conferences, Tennessee, LSU, Auburn, Wisconsin, are still alive. And of course, Louisville stayed alive with a come from behind them.
Bobbled snap. Misconnect between Cameron Dillard and Luke Del Rio. I like the positiveness with which you approach that assignment.
Hey, in 2006, our first year, that's what started it all.
I do.
You got to give value to a championship team. And it was this game, by the way, determined a lot of Florida continuing on their run. They were an ugly winning football team at that time of the year.
That's a pretty ugly play on 2nd down. Jordan Scarlett didn't get much.
I think these early polls, they might be fun for talk radio. They don't mean anything. It's like watching you and I on the driving range. You know, I mean, who cares what a guy does on the driving range? Wait until it counts, and it doesn't count until late November.
You still got 14 teams alive?
Yes. Well,
13?
13 or 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
I missed the pinwheel.
I just remember 2007, all the stuff that happened when LSU got in with 2 losses.
Oh, yes.
Remember that?
Oh, gosh.
A lot of teams alive.
3rd down 10. 4-man rush. Del Rio wins it. Caught. Callaway. Boom. Trenton Thompson came flying at him. He's picked up 21 yards.
Excuse me, Vern. Here's how you design a play. You hold the underneath coverage, and then you bring the guy behind him. The quarterback, watch inside, hold the linebackers. There's the opening. Rip it in there. Best throw of the day by Luke Del Rio. Puts it right on the numbers. You put the short guy to hold the linebackers, and you bring a sharp route behind him.
And Callaway
took a big hit after he caught the football.
Yeah. 1st down 10. Scarlett again. And he's got 1st down surge.
Now here's the pounding. Will it continue for Florida, though? Martez Ivy's going to wrap around. We've seen this play so many times, and Scarlett's going to follow him. Good blocking inside. Jonathan Jawan Taylor, number 65, the true freshman offensive tackle, also got a big block on that play. Very successful 9-yard play.
2nd down and 1. Gators lead by 4.
No need to be fancy here. Right at him.
And they do. Scarlett, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Hey, Vern, keep your eye on Antonio Callaway. We saw him take that really hard hit on the last play. He came over to the sidelines and he spent most of the time kneeling. Well, moments before that, about 2 or 3 minutes before, he spent most of the time on the ground getting stretched out. The team was trying to force him to drink a lot of Gatorade, maybe dealing with some cramping. So he's playing through it. He shook them off when they asked if he was okay. He wanted to be back in that game, but just keep your eye on him.
3 catches thus far. On a 1st down 10, he is to the left. Empty backfield again for Florida. Del Rio chased, caught, connects with Callaway. And he trips as he tried to turn it upfield.
Callaway knew he was open from the beginning of the route. He tried to keep singling Luke Del Rio, but Del Rio never saw him. Watch Callaway come open right away, and he starts waving like, here I am, here I am. Del Rio, at the end of the play, is able to get rid of the ball.
It was Natrez Patrick who drew a beeline on Del Rio.
I mean, how do you not have someone cover, and again, a limping Del Rio, how do you not have someone covering Antonio Callaway that had to be a bust?
2nd and 6. 5:09 to go, 3rd quarter. The Michael Pirine. And the catch is made by Josh Hammond, number 10.
No doubt in my mind that Luke Del Rio changed this play. This is the value of having a guy that has been in the offense, been in college football, knows what McElwain wants, and he delivered that play to the outside, an easy pitch and catch and stealing 5-6 yards.
Another 1st down for Florida, under 5 to go in the 3rd quarter. Their Verizon Red Zone stats today, 2 out of 3 for touchdowns.
This will test Florida's offense. 1st and relatively goals, starting this drive, you know, they can get a 1st down, but way inside the 1-yard line. This will be the toughest 10 yards you can do on offense. Nussmeier making another call. He has been balanced on this drive. 8 plays, 5 runs, 3 pass. Same formation that they hit the pass before to coming across.
Scarlett, bottom of the screen, that's Brandon Powell who goes in motion. Now sets up, and they swing it out to him. Down the sidelines. They check to see if he stepped out.
Stepped out on the 4. Here's the signal. Nice block that time by Josh Hammond, number 10. Let's see if he does step out. This is the look. Yes, he did. Between the 4 and the 5-yard line. A little bit of a screen pass to the outside. There was nowhere else that ball was going but to Powell as a screen. He flanked out wide, as Vern told you, and he came back in to catch the screen pass. Nice call.
3rd down 3.
It's a big stop for this Georgia defense. Will they come after him? I would think they have to.
Callaway in motion. Sweet. Touchdown.
Wow, walk-in.
Boy, was it ever.
Well, this is college football in 2015 and 16. Everyone has these jet sweeps. Look at the timing. He's looking at it. He's looking. He knows what he's going to call it. And before anybody can even move, Callaway's outside. He's outside the flank on that side. It makes an easy touchdown.
See the block from number 80? Seontae Lewis.
And David Marshall, number 51, was in position but couldn't even move. And he was by him.
Pinheiro missed a field goal from in short, but the PAT is perfect. Another look.
Timed out well. Block on the edge, outrun the line of scrimmage, and they open up a lead in this game.
Go down to Alabama, LSU with Alabama.
All right, that's not a bad one.
Well,
Brad's going to have to get out of his robe that he's been wearing for the last 3 months. Probably have to shave.
What if he was gifted by Peyton Manning? Pinheiro will kick off.
Well, here we go. Okay, this game started a little slow. Kind of reminds me of that 2012 game, and our guys in the truck are right there. That ended up with this, remember? Jarvis Jones, Jordan Reed.
What
Exciting
about that
finish? Yes. It just seems like both teams are struggling to move the ball like that game, and it's going to be one of those plays at the end of the game that decide it.
Well, Georgia's last 6 possessions, they've had 5 3-and-outs. Play action, Eason.
He cannot even set his feet any longer.
That was Kavanis Davis, number 95.
Yeah, you know, we've seen number 92, number 95, number 90, number 57, number 54. They are just rolling fresh pass rushers out there, and if it's not them, it's number 34 coming in. I mean, they have moved the quarterback off the spot on nearly every pass lately.
Second half, 5 yards.
That's not good.
Eason again.
Nobody to throw to. Nobody to throw to. The highlights of Jacob Eason has been his throws when he got out of the pocket, but he has been under pressure the whole game. The Florida pass rush has been relentless, and the one thing we talked about in the open is, could Nick Chubb help him out? The answer's been no. I mean, as bad as Georgia has rushed the ball in the last 2 years in this game, it's worse today.
5 yards in this half. 3rd and 10. Watch out. Got it. Now can he get the first down? Sony Michel.
Great play.
Yes.
You know, there's one of those that we all as quarterbacks kind of have to do, and you got to take what happens. You have to take the short throw. That's all you got, and you hope that the running back will help you out and get the first down, and Michel makes a big play, because Georgia, the last 3 third downs have been 3rd and 11, 3rd and 9, and 3rd and 10. Finally, they pick one up.
So a first down at the 36. Sony Michel stays in the backfield. Not much again. That's Jabari Zuniga, who has really come on.
He sure has.
In the middle part of this season.
Zuniga was one of those lightly recruited football players who grew as he got older. His senior year, committed to Florida, and now he's going to be a star. He rebuilt his body, and now he's an elite football player, and he will be for a couple more years at least.
2nd and 11.
All they do is substitute with last year's star, C.C. Jefferson, number 96.
That's right. Eason again under pressure.
Had to get rid of it. C.C. Jefferson, and that time Jacob Eason went down.
Ryan Cox was also there.
Left side, he's matched up against Catalina, forces his way with a bull rush, and you see Eason says, I got to get rid of it because either Jefferson or Cox is going to make the sack. 3rd and long again, the 4th consecutive time.
Under 2 to go, 3rd quarter. That's McKenzie.
That was good protection that time. You saw how many times that Eason double clutched and tried to find somebody to throw to. The 2 corners blanketed their men. Tabor and Wilson, nowhere to go. He looks, he clutches, and eventually just has to throw the ball to no one. Great coverage in the secondary by Florida.
So Eason's on the bench, and the difficulty continues with the punting game, as now they're going back to Bryce Ramsey. So the backup quarterback heads left, and a fair catch will be called for and taken by Callaway at the 30-yard line. Start your Halloween night with Kevin James in a scary, funny episode of TV's #1 new comedy, Kevin Can Wait, Monday at 8, 7 Central, only CBS. Take a look, go back to the beginning of the afternoon, the SEC East. And Kentucky's on a bit of a roll now. They were thumped by this Florida team in Gainesville, second week of the season. Tennessee also with 2 losses. Georgia with 2 and 3 record in the East.
And Kentucky has the only win by an East team versus the West this year.
Jordan Scarlett. Now let's see what Tennessee has left. They play South Carolina, Tennessee Tech, Kentucky. That'll be certainly a very interesting game. And Missouri, along with a visit to Vanderbilt. We saw Florida's, there was that November 19th game, which now is the makeup for the postponed game because of Hurricane Matthew. And the game will be played Florida at LSU, and then the next 2 years, the game between the two will be in Gainesville. Oh boy, off the hands of Ciante Lewis and close to being intercepted.
That was one where Luke Del Rio anticipated to throw a little bit too much. He let it go before Ciante Lewis was really ready for the ball. Don't know if Lewis went a step too far or Luke Del Rio threw it a half step early, but there's no way that ball could have been caught. No way. It was coming too fast.
3rd and 9.
It feels like a must stop here. It just feels like one.
Well, the folks below us in red and black on their feet, urging their defensive unit on.
Remember, Callaway ran a crossing route last time for a first down.
There's Powell in motion. Here's Del Rio. They got it. DeAndre Baker. Came on a corner blitz.
Oh, they got one of those too, don't they?
Yes.
We showed it how Florida attacked Jacob Eason, but the same thing is going to happen right here. Off the slot, really. He's playing the inside slot receiver, and it was a pretty nice pass and big play for the Georgia defense. They couldn't afford to get beat on the 3rd and long right there with an 11-point deficit.
Johnny Townsend on the punt for the Gators. Isaiah McKenzie will back up. Waits, takes it at the 26. Breaks loose. Caught from behind. Close.
He is quick. He's had
Washington made the tackle.
Right, 4 punt returns in his career for touchdowns, 1 kickoff return. Every time he catches it, he's a threat. He's so quick after he catches the ball.
That is the end of 3 with our score 21-10 Florida. We'll return to Jacksonville right after this message and a word from your local station.
Now it's kicking in. Pure adrenaline. I'm too solid. Yeah. Pure adrenaline. Yeah.
And so we begin the 4th quarter. Florida, Georgia from Jacksonville. Take a look at the Florida with 3 touchdowns, 1 in each quarter. Georgia took a 3-0 lead, and it's 21-10. With Gary Danielson, Allie LaForce, I am Vern Lundquist. 1st and 10. Nice effort. That is the first time Nick Chubb has touched the ball since 12:25 was left in the 2nd quarter. That's kind of extraordinary.
Yeah, and I really do believe that without some help, because they cannot pass block enough. Listen, this Georgia defense has done a nice job in this game. I mean, they are stopping the run. I think if Kirby Smart knew that he was holding Florida to 60 yards rushing, he'd say my defense pitched to what I needed in this football game. They just can't protect the quarterback, which means Georgia, to get back in this game against this great Florida defense, is going to have to run more.
They try here.
What a block. What a play by Jared Davis.
Yes, it was.
Jared Davis, who so badly wanted to play in this football game because I tried to skip. There he is. Suffering that ankle injury. He wanted to play football at Georgia. He was a high school teammate of Bryce Ramsey. Georgia didn't have a spot for him. He went to Florida, and what a great career he's had.
There he is. Jared Davis.
He can't be any more than 60, 70% in this game.
3rd down 5. Eason. Stripped.
Yeah, Duke Dawson, what a play.
It sure was.
See, that's the reason that Jim Chaney said we have to throw some deep balls. Because he knows, he's seen the tapes I've seen. The Florida Gators defensive backs don't back up. They don't back up. They want to get their hands on the balls. They play every slant, every hitch. If you don't go deep, if you don't have a guy that can stretch the field, they eat you up. You know, if it wasn't for 1/2 against Tennessee, I mean, they'd almost be pitching a perfect defensive season. And what did Tennessee do? They went deep with Jawan Jennings.
Yes. Here's Marshall Long back on in the punter spot. And Callaway moves up, tackled after maybe a 2-yard.
No, we got on Antonio Callaway a little bit for some mistakes in the Tennessee game. That was a great play. That ball could have rolled all the way down. He saved a lot of yards.
And now it's time for our Geico game recap.
Let's take you through this. Riley Ridley left the game with an ankle injury after this play. One of the fine young wide receivers. Gators jumped out to a 14-10 halftime lead. They have led at the half of each game this year. There's Jacob Eason Now it's 11 of 26, and most of his effective plays, as Gary pointed out, have come from broken plays. There he caught Ridley with a touchdown pass. Luke Del Rio, Keontae Lewis, broken tackle, touchdown. And Del Rio with 12 of 21 for a 123 on the sweep. Antonio Callaway, a 4-yard rush, and isn't that some beautiful stuff? Well, Gary, take us back, Antonio Callaway.
Well, remember the last time we were with him is in that, here's the play that he made. He catches it on the run at the 20-yard line. That ball could bounce all the way down to the 10. We were in that game when he struggled with those fair catches, but he's an aggressive football player. Made a couple mistakes that game, and you saw the great route running he's put in the game. He obviously is the most dynamic receiver on this team.
Fake to Jordan Scarlett, pitch it out of the backfield, and it is incomplete, intended for DeAndre Goolsby.
Well, I was just about, if we wouldn't have had those highlights, to say, will Florida just pound the ball now?
Yeah.
Will they even try more than 3 or 4 passes? Evidently they will.
Well, I take it by the tone of your voice, you're a little surprised.
I thought they would come out and just try to hammer Georgia again.
Second down 10.
Well, they tried to do that early against the second half against Tennessee. It didn't work.
One more time.
Yeah, that might be the answer right there. They're trying to get to the edge. They could not get to the edge against this Kirby Smart, Mel Tucker defense, and 3rd and long for Florida. Nice job to the outside that time by number 17, Devin Bellamy, turning the play back in.
Scarlett, 18 carries, 69 yards. By a bunch, he is the leading rusher in this game. 3rd down 8. Callaway split off bottom of the screen. From the corner, Del Rio has to get rid of it to P-Ron.
That's that aggressive defense that Kirby Smart played at Alabama. They were playing combo coverage, man-to-man coverage. They were taking away the screen pass. Doug Nussmeier hoped he'd catch him in a zone. It was not a zone. It was man-to-man coverage, and a great job by the Georgia defense to get the ball back.
Last time out, Johnny Townsend punted 153 yards. McKenzie returned to 15. See what is going to happen here. It's Townsend on 4th and 11. That will chase McKenzie back. Grabs it at the 25. Off as he gets to the 40. Nick Washington on special teams. Well, that's almost the same thing that happened last time. 55-yard punt and a 14-yard return. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Aflac. Windows 10. Nissan. And by Sonic. Well, let's see what Georgia can do, if anything, offensively now with the first down at the 40-yard line, trailing 21-10. It has been their running backs, their running game, that has been stymied throughout the afternoon.
Well, they've been stymied pretty much when they try to throw, getting sacked. They haven't been able to run the second half. 4 possessions, only 20 yards in 15 plays. 20 yards.
Here's Eason. Has to use the safety valve.
And they tried to run a gimmick play. They were going to fake the wide receiver screen and go long. And if you look down the field, Florida's defense said, Safety's very deep, goes over to that side. They try to gimmick it. Nobody to throw to. He has to dump it off for, again, a loss.
Marcel Harris, we mentioned at the beginning of this quarter, it was the first time that Chubb had gotten the ball not only in the second half, but through much of the second quarter.
Yeah, it's a deadly mix if you're calling plays. Trouble running the ball, trouble protecting the quarterback, and a freshman quarterback.
He kept it. He finds a receiver.
Got a rifle ball.
Javon Wims, wow.
If he has time to throw it, he can gun it in there. This time the play action pass, and this is why I thought it was so important that Georgia was able to run the ball, because I didn't know if they'd be able to pick up pass protection against Florida. They needed help for that guy to stand in there and deliver that type of play action pass.
3rd down, 2. Eason again under pressure, incomplete, 4th down.
Tried to pick play, tried the same play that earlier in the game Florida played. Outside receiver is going to try to rub right here and allow the guy to break out. Watch him try to rub Dawson. Nobody there. Then inside he tries to throw to the guy with the rub. Wasn't there.
It appears Georgia is going to go for it on 4th down. 10:02 to go. 5 of 8 previously on 4th down attempts. Play fake. Eason. Look at Duke Dawson get a hand in the way. That's the 2nd time in this half that Dawson has played great defense.
Well, again, what's the theme? And this is the problem. You've got no vertical threat. Coming to the outside, he's going to play this 1st down line. He's going to play the sticks. He doesn't back up one step, and that is an unbelievably tough throw right there. You have to force him off his mark and then come back for the 1st down.
Ball goes over on downs. Florida leads 21-10. And now Quicken Loans presents today's Scholar Athletes. On the left, Florida's Luke Del Rio, majoring in family, youth, and community sciences. And Georgia's Nick Chubb, majoring in agricultural and applied economics. Quicken Loans' commitment to the investment of our future is shown today by donating $1,000 to Florida and Georgia's General Scholarship Fund. 1st down, 10. Just outside the 47-yard line. So Michael Pirine goes left. And let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Hey, Vern, Dominic Sanders just came out of the injury tent for the first time in 15 minutes. He can barely walk. He's dealing with a left knee injury. He's limping on it. It's taped up pretty good. He did try to test it a couple of times, and it didn't go so well. The team says he's out for now, but it doesn't look like he'll be going in at any point in this game.
All right. And another Georgia player down. That's Natrez Patrick.
And Natrez Patrick was the guy who actually made the play. He kind of rushed blitz from his linebacker position. He lays out and forces Pirine wide. I don't know if he's cramping up or not, but he made the play.
He's getting some medical attention, and time has been called. We'll take time out. We're back in Jacksonville. Our aerial coverage today provided by Goodyear. For 60 years, Goodyear has provided aerial coverage of college football's greatest traditions and biggest rivalries. And coming up, the Napa play of the game, ironically presented by Napa Auto Parts. That's a little later. And there on the sideline is Natrez Patrick. Walked off unassisted. Apparently is going to be okay. It's 2nd down and 10. 21-10 with 9:48 to go in the ballgame. Play action, Del Rio. Chased. Sidearm. caught. DeAndre Goolsby, the tight end, and Aaron Davis, number 35.
Well, right now in the second half of this game, only being an 11-point game, Florida's convinced that Georgia is selling out to stop the run. They've now thrown the ball 2 more times in this half than they did in the second half of the last 2 years combined. And the reason is they were running the ball at will the last 2 years. I mean, they could do anything they want. This year, 36 rush attempts for about 100 yards, if you don't count the sacks.
Perine. Here's Del Rio, flips it out to LaMichael Perine. Oh, he's got Delaware. Yep, he does. He keeps driving, and that gives him the first down 10. David Sharp, number 78, was out in front.
Play they tried earlier that was blown up this time, executed wonderfully, and Perine keeps his balance and gets an important first down. Keeps the clock going, and an 11-point lead. Nothing wrong with that.
10 yards on the play. Perine knocked out of bounds with a modest gain. Roquan Smith. Well, how are the teams that are undefeated faring today on the road? Michigan won. Oklahoma State knocked off West Virginia. Baylor has just gone in front of Texas. Washington and Utah are tied 2 games tonight. Actually, 3 games tonight.
Right. As long as these teams keep getting knocked off, that keeps a lot of people arguing for Louisville, and a lot of people arguing for 2 teams, Michigan and Ohio State, or 2 teams from the SEC.
They will give it to Perine again. He's a freshman out of Theodore, Alabama.
Well, right now, if Georgia can't get a stop here, it's going to cost them another 2 minutes on the clock. They need to get a stop, maybe even have Florida lose a yard, because they need to force a field goal and hope he misses it.
So 3rd and 1.
If Florida picks up this first down, it'll take it under 5 minutes.
Jordan Scarlett back at the running back spot at 25. They will test it and get it. So a fresh set of downs and at least a couple of minutes off the clock.
Yep, it's going to be, barring a turnover, I don't think you'll see very many risky passes by Florida anymore. The question now is, as Kirby Smart looks up at the clock, will he even consider using his timeouts now? Force a field goal. Remember, he's going to need 2 scores. He has to get a stop. He has to force a field goal.
Out of the spread, Del Rio on first down 10. Scarlett. Jonathan Ledbetter, number 13, with the tackle. Went for the steal.
With the kicking miss, field goal miss by Florida, I wonder what Nussmeier will dial up here. Will he get a little fancy? He surely does not want to try to kick the field goal. Even if he does, makes it a 14-point game.
Here's Doug Nussmeier.
2 sides of this coin.
Yeah. And keep it on the ground. Perine. That's his 13th carry.
Yep. Remember, half play in the clock, half playing field position of being able to kick a field goal. If you can steal a first down, you pretty much feel you have the ball game.
This current drive at 4:19 and continuing. And the clock now at 5 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 3rd and 9. Cross. P-Rod. It'll be 4th down.
It's going to cost Kirby 40 seconds. Watch this field goal right here. He's going to decide to let the clock go.
It'll be up to Eddie Pinheiro, who missed one earlier in this game. He was 9 of 12 coming in. Kirby, talking with us yesterday, said we have decided disadvantages in the kicking game. We really admired this guy and Johnny Townsend, the punter. So here we go. Townsend will hold 38-yarder to give Florida a 14-point lead. Cuts it just inside the left upright. 24-10. 4:24 to go. (24-10) 4:24 to go. 38-yard field goal increased the lead. Look at this, fewest rush yards from 1930 on. Georgia today with 14 yards.
Yeah. And I, you think about it, you think, well, no, there must be. If I was going to say over/under, how many sacks does Florida have? I put the over/under at 6.
Right.
I think most people say, oh, they've had more than 6. They've only had 2. They've just been pressuring the heck out of Easton all game. It's not like they have, 50 yards in sack coverage.
And they have also, Gary, done a very effective job on stopping Nick Chubb.
Well, this has been the story of the Florida defense. I mean, I can't even remember the last team for Florida that was dominated by their offense. I think you'd have to go to 2009, Tebow's senior season. But ever since then, it's been the Florida defense that has been carrying this program.
1st down 10, Bulldogs. With 4:17 to go.
Well, we've seen this guy do magic before.
It's a good start. Blazing the tight end and a broken tackle. Nick Washington had him, it seemed, and lost containment. 14-yard gain.
Nice rhythm throw, going back to the tight ends. That's one of the things that allows that pass rush to get to the quarterback. They don't back up. They play man-to-man coverage. They challenge every receiver on the field, and they tell their defensive linemen, if you can get in there in 2 seconds, we'll be fine. You really need an elite receiver on the outside to put some pressure on these 2 corners.
2 seconds under 4 minutes remaining. Eason, he will tuck it. Slides down.
That's a tough slide.
Yeah.
At this time of the game, that's a tough slide. That's exactly what Kirby told Allie at halftime. You can slide in the 2nd quarter, and in the 4th quarter with 4 minutes to go, you can't slide.
Near side.
And I watch
McKenzie, go ahead. Yeah.
I watch Matt Stafford play for the Lions every week. He figured it out. There's sliding time, and then there's time you got to sell out.
Flag on the play.
Very young quarterback. He's obviously got a ton of talent.
Illegal touching. Offense, number 16. He went out of bounds on his own, came back inbounds, and was the first to touch the ball. That penalty is a loss of down at the previous spot. It'll be 4th down.
That's McKenzie.
Yep, can only catch the ball if he was pushed out. Right down here at the bottom.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Couldn't really tell
No.
right there, but obviously the official's staring at it. He planted his right foot and stepped out of bounds. 4th and 3. Last chance.
Now they attempted a 4th and 2 with 10 minutes to go. Now they've got 4th and 3, and this is last call. That is the goal after. Eason. Now can he shake the tackle? No, he cannot. Jared Davis.
Jared Davis had the closing speed on that one. He may not be able to run around and cut, but he sure closed on that tackle. Just a little too much defensive talent. Sitting in a zone this time to watch Davis. Close straight ahead. He's still got that quickness. And the Florida defense was the difference again for them winning a football game.
So for the second time in the 4th quarter, the ball goes over on downs. There's Jared Davis. Nice young man. And as Gary told you, wanted to go to Georgia, but very happy about his ultimate destination.
And I have talked to defensive coordinators all around the league, and Kirby Smart did not tell me this, but others have, that they show highlight tapes of Jared Davis on how he hustles and how he hits. For Kirby Smart and his defense, let's watch one play here before we get to it.
Scarlett going left.
Just wanted to make the point about what Kirby is building with his defense. Just take a peek at the last 2 weeks for this Georgia defense. They held Vandy to 171 yards, Florida 208 yards until it's basically mop-up time, and he's likely to lose both. Well, he's going to lose both ends.
Yeah. Scarlett. Well, he did avoid a tackle. Well, let's take a look at the side-by-side schedule now of Tennessee and Florida.
Yep.
Georgia today, at Arkansas next week. That's on CBS.
3 big games for Florida. Obviously, Tennessee, I think, with talent, has the matchup advantage in all the rest of their SEC contests. South Carolina, Kentucky, Missouri, and Vandy. With talent, they should win those games. The big game is the one that was moved. Right there, at LSU, remember? Florida had to give up a home game. And for them, with just 3 more SEC games, unless they lose one, they're going to be back in Atlanta, even if they lose to Florida State at the end.
And we'll be going back to our New York studios when this one is complete for the Jeep postgame show with Adam, Rick, and Bryant.
I will say this, it's compared to last year's offense with Treon Harris that was pedestrian, to be as kind as I can. This is a better offense. Now, I don't know if it's good enough to beat the elite Western teams, but it's better than it was a year ago.
2:14 to go in the game. Beeline trying to get the first down. He does not. Let's see if they use their second time out here. And the player is down. That's DeQuan Hawkins Muckle. He was injured earlier in the game. Well, I had a chance to sit next to the athletic director of Florida, Jeremy Foley, yesterday, and he said, you know what? It's getting more emotional every week. Missouri at home, he said, that was my last game. And now this, Scott Strickland will take over the office on Monday. And there's a man who's done a terrific job as the athletic.
He told me a story, and I wish he'd share with the audience about him getting the game ball last week and how much that meant to him.
Yeah, he said it was really, he stood as he always does under the end zone, and they had successfully defeated Missouri. And he was near tears, realizing that he's going to stay in Gainesville for a while, but his athletic department and the teams under his leadership have achieved some great things. Player is still down. Hawkins Muckle. Number 96, you see him in the middle.
Right there. Yep, from the tone player pushed on the back of his left leg.
Time has been called. In the eye of Daquan Hawkins Muckle as he is assisted over to the sideline. Sophomore from Atlanta.
Well, on this 4th down try for Florida, remember the clock will stop if they don't make it. So there's no reason. I mean, you can pass the ball here if you're Florida, because it's not going to affect the clock. Oh. Whoa. Georgia had to take a timeout, or the clock would have started running. Good timeout by Georgia.
CBS. Well done. Fans have started heading for the exits, and Hawkins Muckle is going to be taken into the locker room in anguish, as you can tell.
Remember, on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down, Florida wanted to run the ball and force timeouts, but on the 4th down play, you can run or pass. Your choice on this one. Obviously, if you're going to throw the ball, it's got to be safe.
Jordan, he goes left and gets a 1st down. Scarlett, rather. Jordan Scarlett.
Well, it's going to be really interesting to watch this Florida team now as they press forward. Talked about it. It'll be that LSU, Arkansas, 2 physical football teams that can match up. Well, sometimes Arkansas matches up physically, not all the time. But I would assume that Brett Bielema will have his team ready to play defense against this offense. Very interesting football game.
Scarlett again. That's his 24th carry in the ball game. Well, let's update you on the standings in the SEC East. Florida goes to 4-1. Kentucky and Tennessee with 2 defeats each. Georgia drops to 2-4 and 4-4 on the season. And then you've got Vandy, South Carolina, and Missouri. Jim McElwain, 2nd season head coach. Connection to the Georgia program. He was the head coach at Colorado State, and when he accepted the job at Florida, Mike Bobo, longtime offensive coordinator and former quarterback, enjoyed the Colorado State job. 24-10. Jim, quarterback at Eastern Washington. He said, "I'm just basically a Western Montana guy." Timeout.
It's what gets us up early and sets us into motion every single day. It's commitment, and it starts with just showing up. Mornings in the gym, nights in the lab, and all day, every day. It's why we fight a little harder, aim a little higher, and reach a little further. Because with every solution, every realization, and every time we commit to perfection, we find greatness.
45 seconds remaining. 24-10, and Georgia has used its allotment of timeouts.
One more thing about Florida's matchup against Arkansas. That was a team that was out of gas. They had to bye this week, getting ready for the Florida game next week.
Well, this Florida team, because of the postponement, Result of Hurricane Matthew. This is their second game in a month. And now with 35 seconds to go, headset off. Congratulations to the team. Jim McElwain searching out Kirby Smart, co-coaches under Nick Saban at Alabama, and really good things. Luke Del Rio gets the win in front of his mom and dad. I bet he might go see the Oakland Raiders play tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll go to that game, yes.
And we are going to present the Napa plays of the game. First of all, with 10 minutes to go on 4th down and 2, Eason tossed it left side, and Duke Dawson did a terrific job. Ball goes over on downs, and then...
Yes, on the next one, there was a ball game type play. Again, flush from the pocket. Riley Ridley gets the catch, and big Jared Davis makes the play fittingly to end the game for him.
24-10. The final here, the Gators win it. They're at Arkansas next. Georgia goes to 4-4 for the season. For Gary Danielson and Allie LaForce, I'm Vern Lundquist saying so long from Jacksonville, where Florida defeats Georgia 24-10. The Jeep postgame show is up next after these messages.